pushed in a little bit. They're going to try and fix that out. But other than that, it'll be a normal pit stop for Bobby Hamilton. 4 tires and fuel.
And we talked about Jerry Nadeau. Just think if Bobby Hamilton had stopped a lap before the caution flag, how much better he'd be off than he is going to be right now.
Yes, he would be a lot better off, Benny, but now he's going to have to go to the back of the pack. Bill Weber.
And it's the same situation, you guys, for Michael Waltrip. He was really hoping, A, to stay out long enough to lead a lap and then be able to pit under the green, so they're very distressed that the caution came out. Also, about 20 laps ago, Michael did a little off-road racing. Thinks he might have knocked the rear bar off the car. It's been very tight ever since. They're going to take a look at that. But they're disappointed not only with the caution, but now with the condition of the car. Jerry?
And Jeff Gordon pitted at lap 56. Their calculations said they can go 34 laps. If you do the math, that means they can make it all the way to lap 90, but they were very, very close. Now, Rusty Wallace, who pitted on lap 55, they did the calculations. Tom Hoke did the calculations over and over again and told Robin Pemberton, we are 1 lap shy of the checkered flag. We need caution for 2 laps. Guess what? The caution just came out. They've been celebrating ever since. They still tell Rusty it's going to be very, very close, so be careful with the throttle. Back to John Kernan.
Bobby Hamilton is in. You can see they're taking some tape off of the grill where the grill has been pushed in. That interrupts the airflow into the radiator, which is why his car has been running just a little bit hot. So the tires are going on, no adjustments. He is down and away to Bill Weber.
Oh, Michael Waltrip's on pit road. I wish you could have heard the disappointment in his voice when he was talking to his crew. He's already got tires, right sides going on, fuel's in. Michael's away. He's going to have to watch out for Sterling. They can head down pit road.
Sterling Marlin also pulling away. Kenny Irwin makes a pit stop. So does John Andretti. On board with Sterling as he begins to accelerate now. And being stopped, but now being allowed to go.
And he did get those 5 bonus points because Bobby Hamilton stopped short of his pit position is short of the finish line, and Michael Waltrip did lead that lap, even though it's on pit road.
20 laps to go in the Frontier at the Glen. 70 complete. Sun-drenched crowd today after a couple of days of bad weather. Back in a moment. Welcome back to Watkins Glen International as we are under caution at the Frontier at the Glen. This is the silly season. A lot of changes are being made. A lot of driver announcements already have been made, and so you can keep up with everything that's going on in NASCAR, not only in Winston Cup, but their other divisions on their official website, www.nascar.com, NASCAR Online. Dale Earnhardt is in his 600th consecutive NASCAR Winston Cup event. The streak started at Richmond in September of 1979, and there you can see how that has come about. His 100th start came at Riverside. About every 3 or 4 years, he adds another 100, and today, 600 straight. And he is currently 22nd here at the Glen. Well, BP, we're going green here, and we've got 71 laps in the books, and Jeff Gordon at the front of the field.
But Rusty Wallace looked like Rusty struggled a little bit at the very start of this race, but it looks like now that they've made some adjustments to the car, and it looks like he's pretty doggone good. Now, can he keep up with Jeff Gordon? Interesting to see in the next few laps.
Ron Fellows and Jerry Nadeau will fall in 3rd and 4th behind Rusty, and Dale Jarrett losing a couple of positions here.
No, DJ had gotten up beside him, Jerry Nadeau, trying to take the position, but it didn't quite work.
And the 10 and the 23 real close to having a collision. Blood and Spencer on board with Bill Elliott.
One thing you have to be very careful about is not, when you touch somebody, not knock a fender in on a tire. 19 laps to go, the 18 when they come back.
That's a good point there, because a fender knocked in on a tire could be disastrous to Dale Jarrett right now, because, and you will see a battle for second spot as Fellows goes by Rusty Wallace into second place.
Is that guy good or what on the road course?
He is unbelievable, especially at Watkins Glen.
The Canadian driver showing how it's done here this afternoon on a road course. Up to second. Jeff Gordon has claimed the 5 bonus points for leading the most laps. He has now led 37 of the 72. Other leaders, Rusty Wallace 9 laps, Nadu 9, Said 9. Fellows has led 3, Dallenbach 2, Hamilton 2, and Michael Waltrip has led 1 lap.
I was talking about that fender on the tire. An unscheduled pit stop right now could be disastrous because how many cars on the lead lap now?
34.
Yep.
Wow.
That's exactly right. That's what Ned and I talked about in our open. If you have trouble even on the last lap, you're running in the top 5, you have trouble on the last lap, boy, you can lose a lot.
And that's crucial for all of those who are battling for the points.
Especially Dale Jarrett trying to stay in the points lead. Currently in 5th spot, about 2 seconds behind Jeff Gordon. Now behind the 88, how about Tony Stewart, who has had one problem after another, had numerous visits to pit road, including a penalty as assessed to him because he carried his gas can off pit road, but he is up to 6th spot.
Yeah, I thought he would have to make a pit stop on that last caution ball, but he didn't, and apparently he's okay to go the rest of the way. He had stopped on lap 56, so yeah, I didn't realize there's that. So he's in good shape. Here comes Ricky Rudd trying to pass Mark Martin, taking over the 9th position, moving Mark back to 10th. And here comes Jimmy Spencer down on the inside of Mark. Mark, of course, in 2nd place in the NASCAR Winston Cup point standing. So that was 8 points he lost right there when those 2 drivers went by him.
Who was fastest last lap, guys? Was it Jeff Gordon or Ron Fellows?
Ron Fellows. No, it was Jeff Gordon. I beg your pardon.
No, it was Fellows.
Yeah, that's right, it was. Yeah, he was 119.8, Benny, and Jeff Gordon's 119.2.
Wow. More from Bill Weber.
And they're calling out lap times to Fellows, and the last time by, a minute 13.6 for Fellows, a minute 13.9 for Jeff Gordon.
He is closing the interval, and it was more than a second. Now it's down to less than 3/4 of a second. We'll get the official interval as they cross the line. Here comes Tony Stewart, who is running just ahead of Wally Dallenbach. Just to show you what kind of a day Tony Stewart has had, he started in 4th position, has been as low as 39th, and as high as 5th, currently in the 6th position. Now that last lap, BP, Jeff Gordon was the fastest by just a tick of the watch, and he lengthened the interval just a little bit up to 0.8 of a second once again.
But it looks like those 2 cars are pretty doggone evenly matched.
And I'm sure that Jeff Gordon would like to make a statement here today. You know, a lot has been said and written about these experienced road racers like Ron Fellows and Morris Said. And Gordon, of course, has established himself as being one of the greats in road racing, too. And he wants to prove to the world that on a given day that, by golly, he can run with them or outrun them. And right now, he's outrunning them.
Jerry has more on the 39-year-old Canadian Ron Fellows.
Exactly, guys. Back at the last week of July, that he came up here to test, and some pretty good cars here, including Jeff Gordon, the car he's driving today, Dale Jarrett, and some others. And Ron Fellows, fresh off the truck, was the fastest of the cars they tested. Not only was he fast, he was very, very consistent. Car owner Joe Nemechek said, we make no adjustments, and he's running laps at a minute 13 flat with minimal change on the car. I think that's sort of stuck in the craw of some of the Winston Cup regulars. Now we're going to see if Gordon can stay out front, or Fellows can duplicate what he did here in July and run him down.
Well, BP, we're going to let you go, but before we do, what do you think is going to happen here in the next 15 laps?
Well, it looks like it's going to stay about the same because one lap Gordon is faster, the next lap Fellows. But I tell you, Ron Fellows appears to me to be gaining a little bit on Jeff Gordon right now.
That seems to go up and down. Should be a good race. We're going to let you go because you need the rest, and we need to have you back next week in Michigan.
Fans, see you next week in Michigan. Bob, Ned, you guys, all you guys doing a terrific job. See you next week.
Thanks,
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Benny Parsons from his home in Charlotte after some eye surgery a couple of days ago. Less than 15 to go at the Frontier at the Glen. Gordon leads Fellows.
This insane machine cruises at 240 miles per hour and comes with a price tag of $1 million. So where, I ask you, is the rich Corinthian leather?
Kart racing, today at 3:30 on ESPN. Get ready for ESPN Sunday Night Football.
I wonder if that Ricky Williams is worth all the fuss.
Can Denver dominate without John Elway?
How come they never mention the dinosaurs in the Bible?
The season begins September 12th.
ESPN continues its coverage of the Frontier at the Glen from here at Watkins Glen. Overhead shot courtesy of the Pennzoil Copter Cam. And in about 35 minutes from right now, after our coverage of this event, we'll be taking you to the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course for the Kart FedEx Championship Series Miller Lite 200. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network. Go.com. Jeff Gordon has a 1.06-second lead on Ron Fellows. He's stretched it out just a little bit, and last lap he was just a tick of the watch faster than Fellows.
The last 2 laps he's been just a tick of the watch faster, Bob, and it was about 0.8 of a second. As you say, stretch it out to 1:06. Now that's not a long way, but you can see right there how far it is. And there's Rusty Wallace. He's almost 4 seconds behind Gordon.
For a taste of the race, here's the Jimmy Dean sausage telemetry on Rusty Wallace's car. Notice how he brakes hard going into the inner loop.
Yeah, that's the place you really have to get on those binders, then get off of them, get down the RPMs a little bit there. You change gears and then hits the brake a little bit going into this corner, and then it's going to accelerate pretty hard here for a little while, and you see those RPMs go up to over 9,000 there.
And up to over 160 miles an hour just briefly.
Goes into turn 10 there, brakes again, then accelerates short straightaway here into turn 11, a right-hander, and back towards the start-finish line.
And up ahead is the second place car, Fellows, but quite a distance.
But Ron Fellows did close into 2/3 of a second, 65 hundredths that last time, so his lap speed was 119.7. Jeff Gordon was just barely over 119.
And Rusty sees them up ahead as Rusty heads now up through the S's. Once again, we have a spin on the racetrack. Jimmy Spencer, stay out of the wall and stay out of the sand trap, and I believe he did both.
Boy, he did. That's amazing that he didn't get in there, so he keeps going. Shouldn't be any caution, but he lost a lot of position.
Oh, Ned, he was running in 10th position. Had a top 10 finish going here with 11 laps to go.
Oh, that's too bad. There's Mark Martin up to 10th now. Mark was running the 11th place.
He lost 10 positions. Will drop back to the 20th spot, coming out just ahead of Johnny Benson and Elliott Sadler. Here's a replay.
Well, let's see. Mark Martin looks like he's trying to get on the inside of Spencer, or either Spencer trying to get by. Yeah, Mark was trying to get by. And I don't know if they touched or not. It was hard to tell. They were very, very close. It was going into turn 1, but Spencer does a great job. Looks like he's going to get into those styrofoam bars there, but he made it.
And from the Jimmy Dean Sausage onboard camera being carried by Kyle Petty this afternoon. There is the incident.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of contact made, but Mark was trying to go by on the inside and had slowed down. Bill Elliott got by both of them on that start. Now we watch from Bill's car. Yeah, there you see the impact as Jimmy came down and Mark had to slow down and Bill Elliott went by. So Bill Elliott's now up to 10th place, and we see Mark Martin has dropped back to 12th because Kyle Petty got by him as well.
And up front again, Jeff has lengthened the interval just a little bit last lap, went back to 0.8 of a second, and Bobby Labonte is off course again.
That's too bad. Bobby had gotten out there and had picked up the 27th position. There are 34 cars on the lead lap, so he was running 35th before he got his lap back. But now it's going to cost him some of those positions. So he's still on the lead lap. Probably going to be in about 30th position.
There'll be 9 laps to go when Jeff Gordon hits the stripe, completing lap number 81. The interval between Jeff Gordon and Ron Fellows running in second position. We'll check the speeds here.
And Gordon was faster that time.
Jeff ran a 119.242. Second place, Fellows ran a 118.9, and Dale Jarrett, third quick, had a 118.866 that last lap.
But he's still chasing the 9 car of Jerry Nadeau. He's been up on him a couple of times. times. Took a look inside going into turn 1 about 4 laps ago, but couldn't make the pass. So he might be content to sit there and ride. He's in a good position there. Nobody's chasing him too close to him behind. Tony Stewart's running in 6th place. Got a good, comfortable lead over him. So 5th place would not be a bad finish here, especially Mark Martin running in 12th place, who is in 2nd place in the points.
And we have a record possibly broken here this afternoon if we can keep more than 30 cars on the lead lap. Let's go to John Kernan.
And I'm with Fellas crew chief Brian Patty. And Brian, do you have anything for that 24 car?
I would hope so. I just kept telling Ron to stay right there, put that yellow nose right there in the 24 mirror. But they're awfully tough. They're tough everywhere. He's Mr. Road Course right now. He's won 4 straight or something. So for this Busch team to put a car together, Team Sapco supply the motor. I mean, I think we're running exceptionally well. It's a win for our team if we can finish where we are. Chevrolet, Bullet Hill Vineyards, I think they all should be happy.
I think so too. Running second right now, trying to run down Jeff Gordon. What about another car? Here's Bill Weber.
With Robin Pemberton, crew chief for Rusty Wallace, can you catch the leader and can you get to the finish?
Well, we're about a 1/10 and a half or 2/10 off the leaders right now, and and as far as getting to the finish, that's probably just as close. So it's we might be about a half a lap short, but everything goes right, we'll make it.
You can tell just walking into this pit, they're very disappointed. They thought they had a shot at all the marbles today, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen right now. It's going to be very close to even getting to the finish without running out of fuel.
And it looks like that Jerry Nadeau is coming up, and J.L. Jarrett both coming up on Rusty pretty quickly.
They are gaining. Rusty is losing time to the leaders, and it might be because he's conserving fuel and knowing that he can't catch the leaders anyway. So the smart thing to do would be to conserve fuel, because, boy, if he runs out, even with a half a lap to go, he's going to go back to 30th position or something. So
that's right.
So
on board with Dale Jarrett. Points leader, looking for his first NASCAR Winston Cup championship this year. That's Nadeau up ahead, and up ahead of Jerry is Rusty Wallace.
Are all running about the same speed in the 118 mile an hour bracket now. So is Tony Stewart, who's running behind, but Tony's several seconds behind. As a matter of fact, he's about 4 seconds behind the 5th place car of Dale Jarrett.
Interval varies slightly from lap to lap, but Jeff Gordon maintaining about a 3/4 to 8/10. Now it's up to a little more than a second advantage on Ron Fellows. Has 19 career wins in the Trans Am Series, Ned, including 2 wins here at Watkins Glen. So he's experienced on this racetrack, and boy, he has just had a tremendous race today as Ricky Rudd slows from the 9th spot.
Oh, that's too bad. Ricky had another good run going, and he needed another good run. His season has not been very good. He's looking for a sponsor, giving himself a deadline in the middle of next month. He's to either get a sponsor or he'll sell his team. And now having problems here today. Had a good run going, as you say, in the top 10.
One of 3 drivers who won in 1998, but has not won so far in 1999. What's the matter with Rudd, John?
Bob, Ricky's transmission is hung in 2nd gear, and so we would expect him. No, it looks like he's not going to come into the pits this time, but he's just stuck in 2nd gear. Can't get it out. They've told him to just nurse the car as much as he can, because they'd lose a lot of spots if they came into the pits. He says he's been jerking on the shifter, but it just will not come out of gear. Stuck in 2nd gear. What a way to end the day for Ricky Rudd.
That's too bad, because he has to be very careful now as he heads up through the S's. That's one of the faster points of the racetrack when he would get into 4th gear. So he's going to run those RPMs up there to where he knows the engine will stand it and let it go at that. And you see cars will pass him by because they're in high gear and running a lot faster. And then on the portions of the track where he needs to gear down, it's going to hurt him there as well. But it'll hurt him more on these long straightaways than anywhere else.
Another guy that has had a tough day is Bobby Labonte, who, of course, is very much in the points battle, but he is back in 30th position.
But that's better than he was going to be had he not gotten his lap back. He was going to be 33 cars now on the lead lap, so he was going to be 34th or 35th, and that Interstate Batteries Pontiac has taken a little bit of a beating. The back end has been, since he spun early in the race, as the aerodynamics have not been what they need here.
And again, we remind everybody that he damaged a car severely in practice on Friday morning before qualifying. So
yeah, his primary car, and they were really saddened about that. It was not anything, just not anything that he did. A brake rotor broke on it, cut the left rear tire going into turn 9, and he spun it out. Actually, he didn't get to go through the inner loop, and spun it out and crashed the car.
Last time, the interval between Gordon and and Johnny Benson bangs off the wall, the guardrail, and this may bring out the caution.
Yep, and there'd be a break for those who, like Rusty Wallace, who is, caution is coming out, who was marginal as far as fuel is concerned.
There are 4 laps to go. 4 laps to go, and it remains a question mark as to, and Ricky Rudd has made it to his pit stall, and they work on that car, locked in second gear. Johnny Benson brings out the caution. Here he is. Oh, had a hard contact with the wall coming up through the S's on both sides of the racetrack. Now watch him go over here.
Yeah, he hit hard on that left side, much harder than he did on the right side. Of course, the car had slowed down considerably before he got to the other side of the racetrack.
Johnny Benson was running in 22nd position. The window net is down. He is out of the racetrack, of the race car. Jerry?
Ricky Rudd came down pit road. You heard John mention a moment ago that the car was stuck in second gear. The crew climbed under and was able to get it out of gear, so hopefully he can be able to get it, keep it in high gear and finish these last 4 laps or so. What a tough break for a driver who just needed a break here to get a good finish and try to attract some attention and sponsorship for next year.
16 consecutive seasons of winning at least one race, trying to extend that to 17 in 1999. There are less than 4 laps to go. We're under caution with Jeff Gordon leading Ron Fellows. Back at Watkins Glen International in the beautiful Finger Lakes region of central New York. This is the frontier at the Glen, the overhead shot of this 2.4-mile race course from the Pennzoil copter cam. Well, they are pulling Johnny Benson's car off the race course. He is out and okay. But when they come down to cross the stripe again, there will only be 3 laps left in this event. Now, there is Ricky Rudd, who has fallen way back to 33rd position. The last car on the lead lap. Jerry Punch has more.
And Bob, believe the kind of luck Ricky Rudd is having. His car was stuck in second gear. He came down pit road, the clue jacked it up, came underneath the car, and jammed it out of second gear. And you know what it had stuck? A piece of gravel. This piece of gravel here was jammed, had the linkage jammed where it wouldn't let it come back out of second gear. They pulled it apart, and this fell down from the linkage, and Ricky Rudd wants this to be kept as a souvenir of what this little rock cost him today at Watkins Glen. Now, there's also some concern in the Kenny Wallace pit. He has complained of a vibration in the back of the car. Let me go up here to Jimmy Elledge. Jimmy, what's the problem? I heard him say it's got a vibration.
We're not really sure. I think it might be these 2 pits. Ricky just had a rock stuck in his transmission, and he just radioed in and said that he's got a bad vibration. We're not sure what it is. He said it's in the back of the car, so we don't know if a gear's going bad or, you know, the drive shaft or even a loose wheel. We're not really sure.
Feel like he can make it the rest of the way?
Well, I hope so. You know, I hope this caution takes a long time, and we only got to run 1 or 2 laps. That certainly makes me feel a whole lot better than having to run 10 or 12.
All right, they're going to hold their breath here in the Kenny Wallace pit, so late race problems for a couple of drivers.
Kenny Wallace back in the 22nd position. By the way, Ricky Rudd did lose a lap and has fallen back to 32nd. Now, Ted Christopher driving the number 13 car in 24th spot. And again, we tell you that he finished second in the Busch North race here yesterday and won the NASCAR Featherlight Modified event yesterday afternoon. And doing a good job here in the Winston Cup race as well. Well, Rusty Wallace is the road course ruler when you talk about active NASCAR Winston Cup drivers. He has 6 wins. Started from the pole here today. Darrell Waltrip has 5 wins. So does Ricky Rudd. Martin and Gordon have 4 wins. Irvin and Bodine 3. But again, Jeff Gordon is going for his 5th consecutive win on a road course and is the leader at the moment. And now coming up on 2 laps to go. So we're not going to have much green racing here at the end of the event.
No, we aren't.
Check out the Hardee's field summary and show you the points as of now. If the race ended at the moment, Jeff Gordon would move to 5th in the point standings and knock Tony Stewart down to 6th position, although Stewart is in 6th spot. Rusty Wallace moving up 2, Andretti down 1, and Wally Dallenbach up 3 positions to 15th.
Sterling Marlin would take a big hit, losing 3, and there's Steve Spencer and some other drivers had little, and Park gained some, so would Kyle Petty. Kenny Irwin just made a pit stop. Good strategy on his part. Looked like they took on 4 tires. He was already at the back of the pack. He might be able to pick up several positions, even though they were only going to have 1 or 2 laps to go when they get the green.
Yep. Dale Jarrett, this is an interesting car, Ned. It's the oldest car that they have in their shop. They call it the Mule. This chassis was built back in 1992. It was raced at one time by Davey Allison, and it's the first time that it's ever raced as a Taurus. And so Jarrett has taken this old car to a very impressive finish here this afternoon.
And I think I just heard him tell his spotter or his crew chief, I'm not going to be too concerned about that spot ahead of me.
Well, Jarrett, as we indicated, the points leader, possibly on his way to a Winston Cup championship, comparing his year in '99 to Jeff Gordon's year in '88 when Jeff won the championship. Jeff had more victories at this point in 1998, but Jarrett has more top 5s, has more top 10s, and has only 1 DNF. In 1999, at this point last year, Jeff had 2.
Turn 6 right now.
Cycle going green here at the completion of lap number 88.
2 to go.
Can Ron Fellows catch and pass Jeff Gordon? And this certainly has been a break for Rusty Wallace because he needed to
save a half a lap of fuel. They should have done it for him.
A great jump down into turn number 1. Everybody stacking up behind Ron Fellows. Look at Jerry Nadeau trying to get to the inside of Rusty Wallace.
But in the meantime, Dale Jarrett got around.
Yeah, Jarrett picks up a spot, moves to 4th.
Got around Nadeau.
And the scramble is on. This is going to be an exciting lap and a half here.
Jeff Gordon got himself a good jump. Look how far he pulled out ahead of Ron Fellows. He didn't want somebody to ride on that back bumper when he goes into this inner loop. Or any other turn.
Yeah, they come to the inner loop. Nadeau back in the 5th spot. There's Tony Stewart and Wally Dallenbach. Joe Nemechek, who has been strong all day. Bill Elliott 9th. And Kyle Petty running in 10th position. Good run for Kyle. Down to turn number 10. And the white flag is going to be out for Jeff Gordon. Off of corner number 11. 1 more lap to go. Jeff Gordon looking for his 5th consecutive road course victory. Everybody pretty much in single file now as they come down through here, at least among the first 6 or 7. Mark Martin back there along with Mike Skinner. There are 31 cars on the lead lap, and we can set a NASCAR record here today if we have that many at the drop of the checkered flag, and that's just a few seconds away. Only 4 cars have dropped out of this event. Gordon through the inner loop for the final time. An impressive performance by Ron Fellows. And there is a spin
in the loop.
Inner loop.
That's what we hear. I understand it might have been Joe.
Oh, Nemechek, who was in 8th spot. And maybe Bill Elliott also involved, but he has made it through. And Nemechek is buried.
Yeah, and he might not get back for that record that we were talking about. We need for all of them to get back, I guess.
Off of corner number 11. For the 5th consecutive time, Jeff Gordon wins on the road course. 3 here at Watkins Glen, 2 at Sears Point. It's his 5th win of 1999, 47th career win. It comes in his 210th start.
And bad trouble up here off of turn 10. Ted Christopher is off course down in the sand.
We understand that Dale Earnhardt is also damaged.
A lot of styrofoam all over turn 11 back there.
Let's go to Bill Weber, who's with Ray Evernham.
And Ray, congratulations, your 5th straight road course victory.
Well, it just says a lot about this team and Jeff Gordon. They work real hard on the road course stuff. We've worked hard at it for a long time, and it's great to see him going. Got to thank God for giving us a beautiful day and letting us do this. I want to say hi to my man Tony. My big man Tony's in the hospital, and I know you're not feeling good, but this hopefully will make you feel better.
Got a talented road racer behind you there too down the stretch. Got
a talented driver, period. You know, he comes, he likes to test the road courses. He gets into it, and he comes here and he works hard, and he picks things, and this is one of the places he tells us what to do with the car.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Big Tony is Tony Gibson, who was on his way to the track here yesterday morning when he had a kidney stone attack. He is hospitalized here in the Watkins Glen area, and I'm sure watching, and sends his regards to his teammates as they head to Victory Lane.
And I sympathize with you because I know how painful those kidney stones are.
Me too.
A big crash up in turn number 11, scattered the styrofoam. As we indicated, it was indeed a big scramble on those last 2 laps, but Jeff Gordon comes home with his 18th win in the last 53 races. And emerging from his car, the winner of the Frontier at the Glen, Jeff Gordon. Here's our McDonald's Winner Circle interview and Dr. Jerry Punch.
Well, a nice cold sip of Pepsi and a big hug from wife Brooke. And Jeff, 3 in a row here, but 5 in a row on road courses. What a record.
Oh, man, that's amazing. I tell you what, this team had just come so well prepared for these road courses. And, you know, we've just worked and worked and worked on getting better. And I guess that test we did up here in Watkins Glen definitely paid off. I didn't get the pole because I thought we were capable of doing that too. But I'd rather settle for this win. It was a great run for us. Man, the car was strong. And I was having a lot of fun, especially battling with Ron Fellows. I mean, there's no better guy to race on a road course than him. And I didn't think I could hold him off. He was catching me in some places. And I just stayed after, tried not to make any mistakes, and start pulling back away from him.
End of July, Ron Fellows came up here, and he was actually quicker than you in testing, and that had a lot of guys concerned, but you were able to pull away somewhat toward the end.
Yeah, you know, our car was just really good on long runs. When the fuel level went down, the car just actually got better. Goodyear brought a great tire up here. I mean, the concrete going to the pavement was a little tricky, but I tell you what, you know, these tires held up good, so we were able to go on long runs. I want to thank God. I mean, you know, we've been through a lot this year, ups and downs, and he's been with us during the down times, and he's been with us during the up times, and, you know, can't do it without him, and can't do it without DuPont Automotive Finishes and Quaker State and Pepsi and GMAC. You know, everybody that makes this DuPont Chevrolet go fast, we certainly appreciate it.
Hey, go celebrate and enjoy it.
You bet I will.
All right, Jeff Gordon takes his 5th consecutive road course win as the 14th running of the Frontier at the Glen is over, and the defending Winston Cup champion in Victory Lane.
ESPN's coverage of the Frontier at the Glen from Watkins Glen being brought to you by Delco Automotive Parts. AC Delco, if you're not asking for it, you're asking for it. By Citgo, you know a neighbor when you see one. And by Daytona USA, the official attraction of NASCAR. Down to John Kernan.
With Ron Fellows, and Ron, a bit of a smile, but when you climbed out of the car, it looked like you were a little bit disappointed. Second place, Ron, it's not bad.
I know, but we want to win. We want to win. But, yeah, I mean, it's not bad. You know, Jeff Gordon and Ray Evernham have done an awesome job with their road race program. And I got to thank Brian Patty, you know, all the guys at Nemechek's team. They've done just an outstanding job. You know, we're disappointed. You come to win, but, you know, the effort that they put in a short amount of time, 8 seconds, a pretty good effort. And thank Bully Hill Vineyards, AER, Anchor Wipers, and Chevrolet. 1-2 Chevrolet, that helped a little bit in manufacturers. So,
second place finish for Ron Fellows to Bill Weber.
With Dale Jarrett, the road to the Winston Cup goes through the road course at Watkins Glen, and you escaped with a 4th. That's a big day for you.
Yeah, it sure is. It worked out for us. Didn't rain. That was a big plus for us. And then we had a really good race car, and it ran well all day. You know, it was fun to get up close enough to the guys to see kind of where we're lacking a little bit yet and try to improve our program a little bit more. But in looking at the big picture, we did exactly what we needed to do here today and came out of here, beat all the guys that are immediately behind us in the points, and now we go to a place that we feel very good about next week at Michigan.
Unofficially 300 ahead as he heads for a new frontier, Bob.
Indeed, as we go to Michigan, the interval is 300 that Jared enjoys over Mark Martin, 362 over Bobby Labonte. Jeff Gordon moving up to 5th in the point standings. Stewart down to 6th. Back here in a moment